Have you ever pondered on the significance of fiction in literature? This genre, my friends, is more than mere entertainment. It's a profound exploration of the human condition, a window into our deepest emotions, our most complex thoughts. Fiction is a safe haven where we can dissect the intricate web of human nature, where we can analyze societal issues through a lens of imagination and creativity. Consider the universality of fiction. It transcends cultural, social, and geographical boundaries. It speaks to us all, regardless of our backgrounds or experiences. A Russian novel can resonate with a reader in India. A Japanese manga can captivate an audience in Brazil. In fiction, we find a common language, a shared understanding of the world and our place within it. So let's delve deeper into the realm of fiction. Let's peel back the layers of this intricate and fascinating genre. Indeed, fiction holds a mirror up to society, reflecting our deepest fears, hopes, and desires. Let's explore together, shall we? To appreciate the importance of fiction, we must delve into its origins. In the grand tapestry of human civilization, the origins of fiction are as old as language itself. The earliest forms of storytelling, woven from the threads of imagination, were born in the cradle of ancient civilizations. These tales, passed down through generations, gave birth to fiction as we know it today. Our journey begins with the Epic of Gilgamesh, arguably the first work of fiction in human history. Emerging from the heart of ancient Mesopotamia, this epic poem weaves a tale of heroism, friendship, and mortality, echoing themes that continue to resonate in contemporary literature. As we travel westward, we encounter the myths and legends of Greece and Rome, rich repositories of tales that have shaped our understanding of heroes, gods, and the human condition. From the tragic fate of Oedipus to the heroic exploits of Odysseus, these stories have carved enduring figures and narratives into the bedrock of fiction. In the early days, these tales were not etched onto the page but danced upon the tongues of bards and poets. Oral traditions held sway, their rhythmic cadences and vivid imagery captivating audiences and etching these stories into the collective memory of societies. Yet, as civilizations advanced, so did the methods of preserving these narratives. The transition from oral to written tradition marked a significant milestone in the history of fiction. Ancient scribes began committing these stories to papyrus, parchment, and eventually paper. This momentous shift not only preserved these tales for future generations, but also allowed for the expansion and diversification of fictional narratives. From the courts of kings to the humblest of homes, these written tales found eager audiences, sparking imaginations, providing solace, and offering glimpses into worlds beyond the everyday. Thus, fiction has been an integral part of human culture since time immemorial, serving as a powerful tool for storytelling and social commentary. The roots of fiction run deep, tracing back to our earliest ancestors who first spun tales around fires under starlit skies. And it is from these ancient roots that the mighty tree of fiction continues to grow, its branches reaching out to touch every corner of our lives. As societies evolved, so did the form and content of fiction. This statement rings true if we trace the trajectory of the evolution of fiction. Let's take a journey through time, starting with the 19th century, a period marked by Romanticism. This era was a rebellion against the Industrial Revolution and the cold rationality of the Enlightenment. It championed the individual, the imagination, and the sublime. Fiction from this era, like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein or the works of Jane Austen, reflect these sentiments. They are filled with grand emotions, sweeping landscapes, and a deep sense of individuality. Fast forward to the 20th century and we enter the realms of realism and modernism. Realism sought to depict life as it was, without sugarcoating or idealizing it. Charles Dickens and Leo Tolstoy were masters of this form. Modernism, on the other hand, broke away from traditional narrative structures, experimenting with stream of consciousness, fragmented narratives, and unreliable narrators. Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse or James Joyce's Ulysses are prime examples of this period. With the dawn of the 21st century, we find ourselves in the era of postmodernism. This period is characterized by a skepticism towards grand ideologies and narratives. Postmodern fiction often plays with metafiction, irony, and temporal distortion. Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale or Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow are works that embody this style. Each of these shifts in the landscape of fiction were not arbitrary. They were, in fact, responses to changes in society and advancements in technology. The Romanticism of the 19th century was a response to industrialization. The realism and modernism of the 20th century mirrored the world wars and rapid societal changes, and the postmodernism of the 21st century reflects our current digital age and the uncertainty of our times. Fiction, therefore, is a living, breathing entity, constantly changing and adapting to mirror the world around us. It's a mirror that reflects not just who we are, but also, intriguingly, who we were and who we might become. What does the future hold for fiction? As we look ahead, we see an uncharted territory shaped by the rise of digital media, interactive storytelling, and AI-generated narratives. These developments are not only influencing the way we consume fiction, but also the way we create it. Let's consider digital media. The proliferation of e-books, audiobooks, and online reading platforms has made fiction more accessible than ever. But it's not just about accessibility. This digital revolution has also opened up a whole new world of possibilities for storytelling. Interactive fiction, for example, invites readers to become active participants in the narrative, creating a more immersive and personalized reading experience. Imagine a story that changes based on your choices, a narrative that adapts to your preferences. This is the future of fiction that digital media promises. But what about AI? Artificial intelligence is increasingly making its mark on fiction. AI-generated narratives are already here, and they're becoming more sophisticated by the day. Algorithms are learning to mimic human creativity, crafting stories that are eerily similar to those written by human authors. This poses both challenges and opportunities for traditional forms of fiction. On one hand, it raises questions about the nature of creativity and the role of the human author. On the other, it opens up exciting new possibilities for collaboration between human and machine. However, it's important to remember that these developments don't spell the end for traditional forms of fiction. Rather, they represent new tools and platforms for storytelling, new ways to engage readers and explore the human condition. After all, the essence of fiction lies not in the medium, but in the power of the story itself. So, what does the future hold for fiction? It's a question with no definitive answer. But one thing is clear: as technology advances, as our world continues to change, so too will the landscape of fiction. New forms will emerge, old forms will adapt, and the boundaries of what is possible will continue to expand. As we stand on the cusp of a new era, the only certainty is that fiction will continue to evolve, shaped by the ever-changing world in which we live. So, to sum up our exploration of fiction in literature, we began with an exploration into the importance of fiction, understanding its role as a vessel of thought and emotion. Fiction, in its essence, is a mirror to reality, an art form that allows us to examine the world around us through a different lens. It enables us to step into the shoes of others, to experience lives beyond our own, and to traverse the realms of the possible and the impossible. But it's not just about escapism or entertainment. Fiction plays a pivotal role in shaping our perceptions and ideologies. It frames our understanding of complex human emotions, and it fosters empathy and understanding. It's a bridge that connects us across cultures, across time, and across different walks of life. We then journeyed back in time to the origins of fiction. We discovered that the art of storytelling is as old as human civilization itself, with tales woven into the fabric of our collective history. Whether it was the ancient epics, the oral traditions passed down through generations, or the written narratives of later periods, fiction has always been a part of our cultural DNA. Our journey continued through the evolution of fiction. We saw how it adapted to societal changes, how it reflected and influenced cultural shifts, and how it embraced new forms and mediums. From the classic novels of the Victorian era to the diverse narratives of the 21st century, fiction has remained a dynamic and evolving art form, constantly redefining itself and challenging the boundaries of our imagination. As we looked into the future of fiction, we saw potential for even more innovation and experimentation. The advent of technology opens new avenues for storytelling, from interactive narratives to virtual reality experiences. But amidst this evolution, the timeless appeal of a well-crafted story remains. The essence of fiction, its ability to evoke emotion, to provoke thought, and to transport us to different worlds, will continue to endure. Our exploration of fiction is a testament to its enduring appeal and its crucial role in reflecting and shaping society. It's a genre of literature that is as diverse as humanity itself, encompassing a multitude of voices, perspectives, and experiences. It's a genre that pushes us to question, to empathize, and to dream. It's a genre that holds immense power. Power to inspire, to challenge, to educate, and to transform. And with this power comes a promise of continued exploration, of continued innovation, and of continued connection. As we journey through the pages of a fictional narrative, we are not just entertained, but also enlightened, challenged, and transformed. Such is the power and promise of fiction in literature.